Have you ever wondered what happens if you take student loans? Like, what if I get a graduate assistantship position later? Wait, do I still need to submit a bank statement? Like, what happens with the whole visa application with student loans? Hey, I know these are some of the questions on your mind, and in today's video, I plan to answer all these questions and much more. So let us get into it. Okay, question one is, my question is, when you change the school name, won't it affect the long run? Won't it affect in the long run because the loan finance company disbursed the money to the school directly and your second choice of school might not be the school you want to attend? Please, can you advise on this? Okay, I don't know what this person will or likely is referring to. So I did a video, I've done videos where I essentially tell you some of the things you can do if your loan application was denied. Basically, you applied for student loans and you didn't get it. Now, one of the things that I mentioned, or that I must have mentioned in one of those videos, is change the school you put on your application. So you applied to, say, Prodigy Finance and your loan application was denied. You can, let's say you apply to school A. When you're reapplying, one of the things you can do is change the school, apply to school B. So maybe I didn't clarify. If you change the school you're applying to, I made the big assumption that you must have applied to that school B. You cannot just put a random school name into the application. You must have applied to that second choice school. So if you've applied to school B and you've gotten the admission offer, what I was suggesting in that video is, instead of applying for a loan for school A, now apply for a loan for school B. If you get that loan approved for school B, you will go to school B. That's what I was saying. You cannot just use a school that you do not plan to go to. It doesn't work that way. You must have an admission offer from that second choice school and you must plan to attend if you take the student loans, because as you mentioned here, the loan will be disbursed to the school you applied to in that, or the school you mentioned in that loan application. Hope that helps you. This one is, what do you think about taking a $100,000 loan for a master's degree in data science at 14%? This one is a tough question. I'll take it one detail at a time. 14%. It is crazy high. Now, data science, I do think you're going for a good program, and once you graduate, I believe you will get a very good job that makes paying the loans really not easy, but you have a path to paying back the student loans. So I love that you're going for data science, because if you're taking loans, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. If you're taking a 100K loan at 14%, you better be going for a degree that lets you, or that allows you, or that gives you, that opens certain doors for you. And you need to make sure those doors would really be open. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. No, it's not easy for even students that are here right now. But try your best to go for a program that's really, value for money. Okay, so I would say 100K data science, 14%. Here's what I'll tell you. Be ready to do the work. Just prepare your mind to know that this is going to be a lot on you once you graduate. Paying back 100K at 14%, it's going to be a lot. Be ready to make that sacrifice. And two, getting a job or whatever your plans are isn't easy, but you need to know that everything depends on it, so you're going to give it your best. If you'd like to get your opinion about taking a loan above a loan that's more than the tuition, say taking a loan of $40,000 while the school fees is $30,000. Difference is intended to support cost of living. Could this possibly raise a red flag for the visa officer or the consulate? This is a big question. I don't know. I don't remember who asked me this, but here's what I think. You can always get student loans above the tuition. Loans can cover your tuition and living expenses. When I took loans 6 years ago, that feels like a long time ago. When I took loans, it was for my tuition, a part of my tuition, and living expenses, right? So you can always take loans above your tuition to support your living expenses. That is fine on a normal day. Now, what the visa officer thinks, or the person reviewing your application at the consulate, is a whole different story. I strongly don't believe it raises a red flag if you have student loans above your tuition, right? Because, as an example, Americans take student loans every time. They take loans for everything, in fact, but they take student loans. Many Americans have student loans, and huge student loans at that. So it doesn't raise a red flag for you applying to like countries like the United States or Canada. They take loans every time. But there are bigger things that the consular officer or the consulate is concerned about when they are reviewing your application, like your intent. Do you intend, from all the things they're checking in your application, does it raise a red flag about your intent to stay in that country? Do you have immigrant intent from what they can see in your application? If the answer is yes, now that's a ground to decline that visa application. But just because you took loans above your tuition, I don't think that raises a red flag. There's so many other things in your application that could raise red flags and could be the reason why anything can happen, right? But just taking student loans above your tuition, I don't believe that's a red flag at all. And this person says, I recently used the link you shared in one of your videos to check my credit score, and the report showed no credits found. Do you think this will reduce my chances of securing a student loan? Okay, the short answer is no. The long answer is also no. Now, the reason why your report showed no credit found is because there is no record of you taking student loans. No history, or I take that back. There is no history of you taking any loans, not just student loans. That means in your home country right now, you've never taken loans, or no loans that have been recorded. Maybe you've been borrowing from your friends, from your mom, from your dad, but you've not really taken a loan from the system. And so when they check your credit score, they do not find any loan history. That's why it's no credit found. And that's fine. That's what I had. That's what I used. Because I'm Nigerian. When I was living in Lagos, I never had loans. And so when I got my credit report, it was also no credit found. And that's totally fine. That doesn't raise any red flag. In fact, that's amazing. So just use that report and apply for student loans. You don't have a problem at all. And if you're watching this video and you're curious about what I'm talking about, this person, the link that I provided is likely the CRC link, the CRC website, and that's the site for most Nigerians to get their credit report. At least that's the most popular credit reporting system in the country. So if you need to get your credit report, go on the CRC website. Okay. Another one is thanks. I applied for Empower loan and it was approved at the rate of 17%. Oh, 17. That is $550 interest monthly. What do I do? This is really high. I empathize with you. I think that's too high. I think that is really, really, really high. Really high. I don't know what to say. I'll just consider a combination of things and just see if it's better to just apply to another school, try to see if I can get more funding from another school, try to see if I just apply next year. Like, I will consider everything. The first time I applied to schools so many years ago, I think 10 or 11 years ago, I got into those schools. I didn't get good funding. I got some funding and I got into maybe 2 or 3 programs, and I made the decision then that no, I will not, there's no way I'll take student loans for this. There's no, like, this is just not it for me. And so I waited maybe 4-5 more years after that before I tried again. So I'm just telling you this to say it is difficult for you right now after putting in all of that work. And then now these rates are crazy. But I just want you to know that it will work out in the end. It may not work out right now. You may determine that this is not the right option for you to take loans at 17% to go to this school. But you may try another school. There's still time for you to apply this year. Maybe try another school. Maybe try to see if you get some good funding from that school. And that way you don't need to take a lot of loans. Even if you take some loans, it may be for $5,000 or $10,000 at 17%. That's still okay. But if you're taking a huge amount of loan at 17%, that may not be righty. That's it for today's video. As always, you have any more questions, please put it in the comments. I will pick it up from there and answer your question. I really want to be of help to you as you navigate studying abroad. And just put your questions below. Join the family, subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.